Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar, and I'm going to do a reading your comments and shoutouts to all of you who commented on my video reaction to Epica. This was actually requested to me by a patron, Mr. Timothy Sharp. This song was from the band Epica, and it was Kingdom of Heaven, but it was actually part 3. I guess it's maybe a trilogy or whatever. Again, I want to preface this. Again, I appreciate all of you watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. And I also, in this video, I also told you guys, I was aware of Epica, but I was not like a follower of them. I had a guitar student of mine who has his own band, who's done fairly well. They're playing, they're gigging, they're recording albums. They've opened up for bigger bands, but I remember probably at least 10 years ago, he told me, maybe it was almost 10 years ago, he said, yeah, we're opening up for this band Epica. This is a big deal. I'm like, who's Epica? So anyway, he told me about them. I remember listening to a couple of their songs going, wow, this band's amazing. And I'm going to preface this. Sometimes, guys, it's very important. I love when people contribute, when we can discuss things together, and that's the great thing with the world going crazy. We can talk about music together. But it's very important, and I ask you guys this, sometimes before you comment, really make sure you pay attention to everything I say. So in this video, I know, one of the things I had a friend mention to me, a lot of people kind of got confused when I said, I didn't say Epica should change their style. What I was saying was, Epica was probably one of the first bands to do in that type of, that kind of style that they have. And I was just saying that there's a lot of bands now, not Epica, but there's a lot of bands now in that style. The female vocalist, the really heavy band doing all the different things, the kind of medieval vibe, the whole seriousness thing, which is fantastic. But I was just saying that now, not Epica, but a lot of bands seem to be doing that now. And sometimes it might be nice to see bands kind of do that, but be more funny, maybe. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying Epica should change their style. Very important, okay? So I'm going to read your comments here. So we have, let me just hit record here, make sure I record this. I like to actually put the words up of you guys, because I want you each to have the shout out that you deserve, right? By Bay Yaga, 19. I hope Epica never change up the way you described and keeps on doing what they do best. Remember, I never said Epica should change. I just said for some of these new bands, Epica have been doing this a long time. Probably one of the more initial bands to do that style, but I'm just saying there's a lot of bands out now that kind of have that formula, okay? There are no fun bands, so they have really serious topics. He talks about different topics that they've sang about, and songs that help you understand the world we are living in and how to keep your head above water. They are really deep, so wanting to be in a fun band will never happen. Then it's just not your music, okay? Just remember, Baba Yaga, that's not what I was saying, okay? Very, very important. He also says, or she also says, it's like going to Cirque du Soleil and waiting for the clowns to come in. Yeah, but again, I repeat, I was just saying I'm aware that Epica have been around a long time. I wasn't saying for them to change. I'm saying that formula, there's a lot of bands out now that do that. It'd be nice to see some of the newer bands kind of maybe take a more comedic approach. I don't know. Okay? Because sometimes without all that seriousness, after a while, it's hard to take all that serious. Yeah. Baba Yaga, again, if one band keeps innovating while maintaining their sound, it is Epica. They're here for decades. Yes, I'm aware of that. If you hear something that sounds like this, just know this is original Coca-Cola, so to speak. Absolutely. I recommend you like their newest song, Ghost in Me. If you want something different, it's a collaboration with Dutch theme park, the Efteling, for their new attraction, Dance Macabre. And besides that, they have ballads too. So you're claiming, but yeah, again, I don't think you're understanding what I was saying. I'm aware of that. So, but I like your comment, and I appreciate that you took the time. But sometimes it's really important to hear out everything I say, I've had some videos, his comments were very nice, but I've had some videos where people get really on the offensive and attack you, and they're not really listening to what you're saying, right? Probably the most viewed video I did was about Zakk Wylde playing with Pantera. And I'm very aware of the history of Zakk Wylde and Dimebag Darrell back when Dimebag was alive. And, I actually made that video because I did a reaction video to the new Pantera lineup performing at the reunion tour, so to speak. And a lot of people were saying about how crappy Zakk Wylde was playing into my head. And as a seasoned veteran guitar player, I'm like, dude, like this is Zach Wild. He's an institution on the guitar. Like, what are people saying? So I said it kind of tongue-in-cheek as a joke. I said, do you really think Zach Wild failed the Pantera fan? Oh my God, did I ever get a lot of views and a lot of hate comments. I'm like, okay, people aren't listening to me. Oh, bud, lead guitarist Isaac Delahaye plays a 7-string Gibson Les Paul Custom. I assumed it was a Gibson because of the Strat style. And what did I just click there? Okay, so let's go back here. I kind of... comments. Dan 66123, next part 1 Omega Alive. I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Sci-Fi Monkey 3, for a bit more guitar than maybe Once Upon a Nightmare. The guitars were awesome in the song I did the reaction to. It was fantastic. They were great. Maybe a better choice, but Epica, like other symphonic metal, that is, yes, that's a term often used for that. Don't often have shredding guitar solos. It's just not characteristic of a genre where all instruments are scored to complement the overall soundscape. Once Upon a Nightmare has a great piano and guitar duet, but it hits you and feels, yeah. Those guitar players are awesome, though, from the video I saw. Pit Daddy. Most of Epica's songs are quite heavy like this. You might want to watch their song Beyond the Matrix to see more of their fun side. The song Consigned to Oblivion is another complex song that they use to close their concerts. I find a lot of the symphonic metal bands, I can hear a definite Dream Theater influence. I was a big Dream Theater fan, especially the early days when James Labrie, who's Canadian, by the way, I was aware of his band previous to Dream Theater called Winter Rose. He came into Dream Theater for Images and Words. So from Images and Words, I loved that album. I loved Awake. And I liked a few of their next albums. They had some great songs. Then they kind of, I don't know. I don't know what happened with me and Dream Theater, but they're still an amazing band. But I find they've influenced a lot of these symphonic metal bands. A lot of them have a lot of influences, but I can definitely hear the Dream Theater part in it. Pit Daddy. Most of Epica's songs are quite heavy like this. You might want to watch their song Beyond the Matrix to see more of their fun side. Okay, again, I'm not saying Epica should have a sense of humor and be fun. They've been doing this for probably decades now, so this is their thing. I just mean that a lot of the newer bands out now who are symphonic metal, they have that formula. Sometimes it's like, man, just, that's all I was saying, okay? The song Consigned to Oblivion is another complex song that they use to their concerts. If you really want a band that's all about fun, watch Electric Callboy. If you look back, I actually did a reaction video to them, and they came out with the Friar haircuts. I thought they were funny. I got a kick out of that. They're what has been called partycore, mix of EDM and metal. They're a blast to watch. Since you like to lift, I would start with their song Pump It. I think you'll love it. You caught that little thing with me squatting in the monolift, eh? Don't lift the way I used to. I just try and keep in shape now. I'm 51 now. Can you believe it? My God, you guys. All you young kids out there, believe me, the years go like that. I often told this funny song. I remember with my music school, oh God, it was probably 12, 13 years ago. I had this teenage girl, she'd come in for lessons, and she was in her mid-teens. And she'd often joke to me, I was in my late 30s, but I turned gray at a young age, probably for various reasons. Bad choices of relationships, maybe. But she'd always call me old man and make fun of my age. And then one day I stopped her. I said, hey, look, right now you're whatever she was, mid-teens or whatever. And I said, believe it or not, it wasn't that long ago I was your age. And before you know it, you'll be 30 years old and you'll have kids. Well, guess what? Now she's 30 and she has kids. It's kind of funny. So anyway, Jesse Marino. This song is truly a masterpiece. Orchestral medieval sound, that's a good way of describing it. Typical of Epica, voice mix, operatic angel. Yeah, well, she was beautiful, man. Could she ever sing? And death growls like the Beauty and the Beast, passages of progressive death and black metal for sure. Crest to Mark Jensen, growler, rhythm guitar founder and leader. He's the mastermind behind this world called Epica. One thing I do mean to ask you guys, are they American or are they from Europe? Wesley JGR, this composition is impressive. There are many things happening. Transitions, heavy and melodic at the same time. The drummer's a highlight of the style for sure. He's amazing, amazing drummer. For more heavy stuff, recommend Victims of Contingency or The Obsessive Devotion, both from Omega Alive next. Okay, cool. Guys, when I do these videos, I am a guitar player, and I understand when you're playing to like a commercial audience, it's not all going to be wrapped up about the guitar solo. Even for me, even though I'm a guitar guy, some stuff when it's too guitar-y all the time, sometimes it's like, okay, wait. I love a good song. but a good guitar solo is a story within a story, right? But it's like when we talk about the band Nightwish. I get it. They're an amazing band. I am a fan. But the guitar player, Empu, he's a really good guitar player, but he doesn't really get to branch out even a little bit too often with soloing. So when he does, it's really cool. I just wish there'd just be a little bit more. That's the guitar player in me. But I'm not saying, the whole song should be around a guitar solo. I'm not like that. I don't mean that. Eric Vermeulen, good to use orange headphones when listening to a Dutch band. Yeah, orange. So this is from my good friends at the company Tozo. These actually are amazing noise canceling headphones. And I got to tell you guys a funny story because from all my years of playing live, I have really bad tinnitus and I've had hearing damage. I did a video about that. I guess that was 3 years ago when I started this channel. And, I was telling my partner when I'm out on the lawn tractor, I'm using we call it a weed eater, some people call it a whippersnapper. I'm like, that noise isn't good for my ears. We really need to get a set of noise protective headphones. What are those things called? Anyway, the pilot to bombardier thing. And then I was in contact with Tozo and they got me these noise canceling headphones and they are freaking amazing. Like they are so, if you're in a room and you're trying to watch something on your computer or your tablet, and maybe somebody in the room's on the phone or something, and there's a lot of talking, a lot of noise, it really keeps that noise out while you're trying to focus on. And I use it, if you guys saw the review video, check it out. I use it when I'm on the lawn tractor doing my work. It really, really cuts out the noise, and I can listen to a podcast or some music just in the background. Not overpowering, but they're really, really amazing headphones. I got to tell you guys that. Like, it's not an act. They're really good. You may like their new video, The Ghost in Me, Dance Macabre, based on the composition by Camille Saints and shot in the Ghost Castle area of a Dutch theme park. Okay, cool. Mike Down, if you want fun, Epica just released a music video, The Ghost in Me. He's talking about the same thing. Epica took the original melody and added lyrics to tie in with the new attraction. It's both fun and a masterpiece, and he provides a link. And I want you guys to know, if you really want to send me a link, just send it to my email, yesyoucanplayguitar@gmail.com. I don't like posting the email too much online because of all the bots and everything, and then you get all the spam and junk email. But sometimes, and Mike, I just want you to know, sometimes if you post a link, even if it's a YouTube link, YouTube might remove the comment. And I've often explained to people, I don't remove comments. A couple of times, there was a couple of really bad, it wasn't even towards me, they were bad racial comments that I didn't appreciate, I took down, but I never ever delete comments. So if you comment and you can't find your comment, it's not me, it's YouTube, the algorithm. So a bunch of channels have had problems with that. Paul C., you need to remember this was published during the lockdown. They decided to do that because 1, they couldn't play, 2, not losing touch with the fans, 3, gave them something to do. Sure, they paid a pretty penny for that, but the fan is the one in the middle of what they... Yeah, but I think I said there was amazing production, right? But I do want to follow this up with a good live performance of Epica. So if you guys can recommend one, that'd be great. Meteor Runner, who is a public subscriber, thank you so much. You want to find a different band? Guess I'll have to request Hanabi next time. Huh. I never heard of that. I'll have to look into it. Epica have been around for going on 20 years, I believe. Long-time favorites. Mr. 0110. Nice reaction, but Epica is not a band to conclude after listening to a single song. No, and I know that. I know that, man. I've been around for a while. And to compare to all those other bands. But again, what I was trying to say, and I think I acknowledged Epica, they've been around a long time. They're probably some of the forerunners of that style. But a lot of the bands out now tend to have that formula, and it's like, it might be good to, when things are too serious all the time, sometimes you gotta, have some humor. So maybe for some of the newer bands, having a bit more of a funny edge to it. Basically, let me reword this. I'm not saying Epica change their style. It would be really cool to see a symphonic metal band that was funny. A newer band that comes out. Instead of doing that formula, be funny. That's all I'm saying. They're much more diverse, deep, rich, and complex than that. One needs to listen to about 20 Epica songs and start grasping the scope of their art. Anyhow, if you like what you heard, you'll probably now stop comparing by the third song. They're a wicked band, man. My good friend, the Cyber Mantis, public subscriber, comments a lot on my channel. I really appreciate it. This entire performance, Omega Live, is worth watching. Super high production value, great songs. Symphonic prog metal meets Cirque du Soleil. But yeah, they do need to do more guitars. He's a guitar enthusiast like me. Simone steals the spotlight a little too much, I think. But she, if that's the singer's name, she's very beautiful and she's very good. So, yeah. My good friend Megadog, I love Epica. Well, I love Epica too. I think they're awesome. My good friend Chris O, welcome back to Epica. Welcome back, welcome back. Busy times over here, guys. Busy times going on at Yes You Can Play Guitar. A lot going on in my life right now, so sometimes might be a little bit between videos, but this week there's going to be a lot of videos put out. So there's symphonic metal, same as Nightwish, but normally heavier. So like Nightwish, you won't get the shredding guitar solos you're looking for. Formed in 2002, so they've been around for some time. By guitarist and harsh vocalist Mark Jansen after parting ways with his former band After Forever. Lead singer is Simone Simons. She was 17 in 2002. She was in training for pop singing, but switched to this stuff after hearing Tardy with Nightwish. Mark had co-founded After Forever, which is Flora's first band she joined as his... Okay, that's where that name sounds familiar. Okay, well, I mean, Flora Jansen. Oh my God, she's amazing. Cohen Jansen on keyboards is the other original member left. His portable keyboard is a Canadian Revo 2 curve board made by New Motion. I've heard of New Motion in Montreal. Montreal's not too far from here. He's even taking it crowd surfing. His main keyboard is also mobile, either on track or on wheels. The current lineup is constant since 2012, includes Isaac Delahaye on lead guitar. He was playing the Gibson Les Paul. Rob Vanderloo on bass. He was playing a Dingwall. I think Dingwall is Canadian too, isn't it? I knew a guy who was sponsored by Dingwall. And the drummer, Arian van Weesenbeek. 8 albums and several EPs to date. Album number 9 being worked on. This is sort of live performances from the 2021 Omega Live virtual concert filmed over 5 days. And streamed online at one time, done when they couldn't tour due to restrictions. First chance they got to play any of the songs from the 2021 8th album Omega, which includes a song. Mark wrote the song, Isaac co-wrote the music with them. They are great live. A couple heavier songs to try, Consigned to Oblivion, live from the Zenith in Paris, and Design Your Universe, live from the 2013 Retrospect 10th Anniversary show with a full orchestra and choir. Very cool. And Chris, I really appreciate you taking the time because you just informed me of a lot right there. And I appreciate it because, you know, you guys, the viewer, educate me a lot. And I love it. It's awesome. It's a great job doing reaction videos, although we don't get paid. So that's why if you see me often promoting Patreon or some people doing the buy me a coffee thing, it really means a lot, the extra help to keep the channel going. Really appreciate it. And so we will do another Epica reaction. We'll probably do a few for sure. We'll go down that rabbit hole a little bit. Can you recommend, one of you guys email me a really good live video of them performing? I think that's where I'd like to go next. And then we'll go from there. And definitely we're going to check out some Hanabi too. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching that video. And because without you guys, this channel would be nothing. So remember, guys, practice hard, but practice smart. We'll see you soon.